Day 42, a number which has special significance in a couple of ways, actually. Thanks to Wikipedia, I learned that 42 is the only number that has ever been retired by every single Major League Baseball team because it was Jackie Robinson's number, the first African American to play in the major leagues, because we don't consider the Negro Leagues Major League, and I think that's a travesty. But the point is, the first black player in Major League Baseball, his number has been retired by every single team. So I thought that was a nice tribute. And then, of course, for nerds like me, 42 is the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, calculated by the planet-sized computer Deep Thought in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by the late lamented Douglas Adams. The punchline of that joke, of course, is that the answer is meaningless without the appropriate question. And in the sequel, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, they learn the question and it makes the answer even more nonsensical. Adams himself said that he just picked an ordinary number, that it has no real special significance, but it has, thanks to that choice, developed a significance to lots of people who have read the books or listened to the radio play or watched the movie or watched the BBC television adaptation, but mostly those of us who read and loved the books. To me personally, there's something appealing about the idea that the answer to those big questions is kind of ridiculous and nonsensical, because so much of life is. And so the idea that an answer to those questions would be useless unless you knew the actual questions you should be asking in the first place, I think resonates with me on a certain level. It seems like there's a very human thing about asking questions and wanting to know how things work, and yet not always being prepared to understand what we don't understand. I don't know. That's kind of a half-formed thought. I've had a lot of those lately. But anyway, so 42, interesting numerically for reasons that appeal to different aspects of the human experience, which I think is also pretty cool. So that's my tangent for Day 42. R.I.P. Douglas Adams and Jackie Robinson. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you again soon.